Well, overall, I was really pleased with the whole spring. I thought our guys really worked hard and improved. That's what spring is all about. With the injuries that we had, going in, we knew it was going to be tough, but some of the younger guys that probably wouldn't have got a whole lot of snaps did. And so it was good for those guys, and they got to see how it works, and we got to see how they handle the pressure and stuff. And now you look at when we scrimmaged against our defense, that was the thing that I was worried about because of all the injuries. We're going against one of the best defenses in the country. Are we going to be able to get a first down? And our guys competed, and some of those young guys really stepped up. So that was big for us. Not only for them to step up and compete, but also, if you're not able to block those guys, we're not going to get a good look at what our quarterbacks can do. And the young offensive line did a great job, and we got to see a lot of good reps by the quarterbacks. And, charted every single throw, and now it's sit down and talk about it and see how they fared throughout the whole spring.
Hugh obviously didn't name a leader or anything, but he said in his head he might have thought Ryan maybe had a little bit better of a spring. Do you see it that way? Do you think he was pretty consistent?
I think all three of them were. All of them would have some good days and some bad days. I'm not ready to step out and say that one, but I was pleased with all three of them.
Did you think one of them had a better day today than maybe the others?
It's hard to tell because I couldn't really tell what was going on the other team. I don't know what plays are called. And all of a sudden the ball snapped. And I can't tell if he's sliding the protection the right way and that kind of stuff. I'll have to see it on film. But I was proud of all those guys. We did move the ball. Again, when you have to split up an already depleted offensive line to play in a scrimmage like that, I was a little nervous that we might not get a first down. But we moved the ball and did a nice job.
In your eyes, how close was it 1-3 through 15 practices with the quarterbacks?
Like I said, we chart every throw, all the way from individual work to Skelly to team. And at one point, about 3 practices ago, all three of them were throwing for 66%. One of them was like, 65.9, one was 66.2, and it was so close, it's ridiculous. So it really has been a good race, and each one of them has something that they do a little bit better than the others. So we'll just have to keep on battling, see how they do in the summer, and see what happens in the fall.
We got Coach Womack over here as well.
I know you've been around Buchanan and Kincaid for a couple of years, but Chad Kelly, this was your first couple months. Was there anything about him that surprised you or anything? What's he good at, and what are his strengths?
The thing his strength is he's got a really strong arm. The thing that surprised me is the fact that, it's one thing when you run a huddle offense, you signal in the play, he has a few minutes to think about it, or a few seconds at least to think about it and to call the play. We're going so fast, and we've really made a big effort to go even faster this spring to learn the signals, learn how to call it to the line of scrimmage, because a play may be called something different for the receivers than it is for the O-line. He's the one in charge of telling the offensive line. I really thought that would be trouble for him, and we wouldn't get a whole lot of good snaps out of him. But in the whole spring, probably once or twice the whole spring, he made a wrong call. So it was amazing to me to do that. That's not easy.
When you talk about that offensive line and having to see who's going where and going up against a defensive line like you guys have, how does that affect their development?
The quarterbacks?
The offensive linemen going
Oh, it's huge. And, it's a credit to Matt Luke, our offensive line coach. He was pulling his hair out all pre-spring thinking, who's going to play and how are we going to block those guys. But and we had guys playing left tackle, say, that had never taken a snap in his life at offensive line, and was our starting left tackle the whole spring and did a great job.
Does your job change? Does the urgency change when you have a team like this that's littered with guys that look with an eye forward to the NFL, but the quarterback seems to be the one question mark that everybody wants to figure out?
Well, I don't know. What are you saying? There's more pressure on me?
Or just the offense in general in terms of figuring out this quarterback situation?
No, anytime you have a new quarterback, you're going to go through this, and obviously this is about the 20th time I've had to do this. So you just get your guys ready and see who competes, and it's fun because when your starter is coming back, it's nice for obvious reasons, but he also knows it's his job and he can sort of settle in and do his thing. Whereas these guys, man, they're going the extra step. They know it's not only a 2-man race but a 3-man race, so they're going to work as hard as they can to try to win that job. And if you think about it, if you're the quarterback and you've got receivers and backs and tight ends that we have, you want to be the quarterback of this crew.
Bree said he's a little disappointed in the wide receivers this spring. Inconsistency catching the ball, but felt like they would come around.
And there's no doubt in my mind they will. We did have a few drops. I think with the different quarterbacks, when you're catching the ball from 3 different quarterbacks, may have a little bit of something to do with that, but those guys will bounce back. That's a really talented crew.
Improvement in the run game, obviously, based on today.
We tweaked a few things. We got some ideas from some other teams that run similar offenses, and it's been really good for us.
Looked like Devontae had a couple guys on a double move, just overthrew him. I mean, what did you see on those plays?
Yeah, he overthrew him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Is that I mean, his accuracy, is that something he still struggles with at
No,
times? or-
no, he's been good with that.
Okay.
You know, that just happens. You get a little fired up, and you know, again, there's so many different receivers playing, and
Yeah.
that I can't remember who it was that he overthrew, but it could have been somebody that he hadn't thrown to a lot.